Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, so I am using my other phone with the microphone, so hopefully this will sound clearer, louder, all of those things that you guys seem to enjoy. Loud, clear stuff. And we got ourselves a new little setup here. Well, it's the same setup, it's just we got a new glow-in-the-dark thing going on that my dad got me for Christmas after saying, I'm not going to get you anything for Christmas. I was like, okay, good. I won't get you anything for Christmas. And then on Christmas, he's like, I got you something. And I was like, what the fuck? But very cool looking. So I pulled these cards last night when I got home. I also did a video on the Divine Essentials channel last night for the Orion Starseed characteristics. So if you're somebody that's like interested in that, learning about those things, there's a whole series over there with Pleiadian. I need to do more, but I've done the Pleiadian, the Syrian, Lyran, the Orion, Andromedan, and Arcturian, but more coming. And I did a trance channeling over there the other day, so if you want to watch that, you get the answers to the questions that were there, and also you can add a question in the comments over there if you didn't happen to get yours in on that one. It's about 30 minutes long, probably like 7 or 8 questions that I covered in it with the trance channeling of the emissaries. This is past life. Past life has been coming up a lot, okay? Came up in things that were unexpected. I did a trance channeling for a private client the other day, and it was like, why am I being guided to get the past life deck? And I felt that way the last time I did a reading. I think it was for this channel. I was doing something and I kept getting pushed and I'm like, why do I need this deck? But I did, and it's come through many times. And even one of the questions that came through for the chance channeling was about past life. So we've got a couple of different past life decks here, tarot deck here, and my soul purpose deck. This is the deck that I created. Yeah, I was going to double check the lighting on everything too and see how well you guys could see things. So we may have to adjust a little bit of stuff here. You know, and I'll do a timestamp for those of you who are like, just get to the point. I don't care about anything else. But I like to give people a little bit of a, you know, this is why we're doing what we're doing. So yeah, soul purpose, oracle, tarot here. This is past life. This is my past life oracle that I created. And then there's the one by Doreen Virtue here. And yeah, basically the first two cards that came out last night were from the Doreen Virtue. We had mother ships. And I was like, that's so weird, right? I wasn't going to take ships, okay? And then I got the mother, and then ships came out again when I split the deck, and I was like, mothership. Okay, makes sense. So some of you may be starseeds, okay? And you may have a mothership. You may also have had issues in this life with your mother, you know, or there could have been like something on the maternal side of your family that has been needing to be cleared. Some sort of karmic inheritance, some sort of, you know, thing that's just been passed down through the ages that most likely has caused you to feel like I can't breathe, like I'm fighting for my life. And it may have been very difficult for you, okay? And when I see the remover of obstacles here, and I see the Star Keeper here, which is, it says on it, hold on, it says on it, Guardian of the Galaxy, Keeper of the Stars, fire in my veins, fearlessness in my heart is what this card says. And basically, I feel like that's tying into the mothership. It's like you guys were here for a certain reason. It was all predetermined. A lot of you are star keepers, you're star seeds, you're not here. That's probably why I would even be mentioning, like, hey guys, there's the Orion and all those things. Because a lot of times I don't say things, especially from the separate channels and stuff. I'm just like, you know, I'll mention it, but I usually do it like at the end. So I feel like a lot of you are probably starseeds. And like the mothership thing was like the first kind of, or even like the last. I didn't even recognize it first off. I'm like, mothership, oh. And karmic relationship is here also. And what's underneath it? Ancient Egypt. So some of you could have started back in the days of ancient Egypt, okay? And this karma that I'm discussing could have started at that time. You could be a high priest or priestess with lost wisdom and, you know, even wisdom and information from the mothership, from your prior lifetimes, because you are a keeper of the you know, information from the galaxy. You have a lot of things inside of you that make you a peacekeeper. You guys are energy healers. You're here to heal and bring peace to the world. And through your fighting is what you're doing, but you're showing people we don't have to fight in the ways that we used to fight, like being karmic and toxic and manipulative and lying and physically harming people. All of those things don't need to be done to bring peace. And I feel like you're here to fight for peace. You're here to fight for what is right. Okay. So a lot of you were here for Atlantis, and you may have left Atlantis to teach in the mystery schools as a high priest or high priestess. Okay. Now the other card that was here originally was Lover, and it says seeking out your divine counterpart, long lost love. And then we have narcissistic, detached, unhealthy love, staying stuck in a low vibration. Get out now. Some of you have been seeking a lover, seeking your divine counterpart, or a long lost love that you feel, you know, deep within you, like I'm supposed to be with somebody. But when you're in a low vibration, in that place of like, oh, I feel so sad and I don't have, and boo, and you have all these obstacles, like I'm not getting there. Where's my person? It does attract in karmic relationships. It attracts in karmic things that you need to work on to heal. So I feel like a lot of you have been doing that, but a lot of it stems from ancient Egypt, from the mothership, from your mothers, from the ancestral lineage that you've come in with, but also just energetically, okay? Now with these cards, the first one that was coming through here is intellectual, okay? And it says philosopher, scientist, mathematician, and inventor. So I feel like you may be somebody that is somewhat like those Orion starseeds, which you are a philosopher, you're a deep thinker, you are someone that's going to take the time to learn about these things. Like these aren't foreign concepts to you. And if they are foreign concepts to you, you're going to learn about them, especially if they spark your interest. Like you're going to know things that other people don't know or don't realize or don't pick up on or don't trust about what they're picking up on. You know, like you see the karmic in stuff because you've been through it. And that's what we've got to do. Got to go through the shit show to understand, oh, that's the shit show. I don't want to be over there. So you're learning, okay? And some of you could be like very inventive, creative, you know, high vibrational people. And then for this, right, this says true love was the love that you've shared in a past life. So you know that, okay? We had lover here, which is like you've been seeking your divine counterpart. You know that you got a true love somewhere. We have identity as androgynous, so that makes sense for starseeds because it's not about masculine and feminine up there. It's like we're all one. Then the time frame is pre-Earth, so you've been existing since before Earth even fucking ever thought about becoming, okay? And your lesson was self-love, okay? You died of an old age, and location stars, look at that. Look at that. Stars, man. Trauma, psychic wounding, faith, celestial. Gonna hit the microphone with it. Sorry if that hurt you, but yeah. And look at this: accomplishment, achiever, celebrity, competitor. I feel like this is your true identity. You are a starseed. If you're here watching this and you're still here with me at this moment, okay. Other people would have clicked out of here. They're not it. They don't got the special boop button, okay? You got the special boop button, and you're here to heal the earth. You're here to heal this karma. You're here to remove the obstacles. You are here to fight, okay? You got to fight for your right, for the peace, and you are healers, okay? And some of you are readers. Some of you are going to do tarot. Intuitive readings help support you and others. So some of you may just need to check in with tarot every once in a while to be like, oh my God, I am a starseed. Especially because a lot of people, like in those questions the other day for the emissaries, are like, I don't feel like I believe in anything anymore. And I think it's because the world is so heavy right now and it's dark and people are lonely and people feel bad. And like, how many fucking obstacles could there possibly be if there's a God? Why is God letting all this goddamn stuff happen? Okay? So don't feel like, you know, don't beat yourself up for even doubting. Just know that, like, we're always going to doubt. That because you're an intellectual, man. You got a brain in your head and you're like, this doesn't add up. But you thinking things like that actually causes more chaos. It causes more obstacles. We start to expect a reality of not so good. We start to get sucked in to the 3D paradigm. That's why people are afraid to come here. Before you came here, you decided you were going to come here because you knew you were strong enough to break out, because you knew you would remember your stuff, that you would come through the veil of forgetfulness and it would be a shit show, but that through your struggles and through the things that you predetermined that were going to kind of happen, you couldn't do everything because you got free will here, but that you were strong enough and wise enough to remember and awaken and like feel those connections with people, like feel this deep wisdom inside of you. Remember that there's more to what meets the eye here. You are the magician. You transmute the shit show and it helps you, and you're going to continue to grow, but you're also going to continue to have doubts and things like that and have obstacles in your life, but how you navigate them, how you feel going up to them. Like, instead of being like, I'm just one little thing, be like, I am the motherfucking mothership. I am like the high priestess. I am the remover. I'm the fighter. I am the peacemaker. I am the intellect. I'm all of this, but like, I don't have to look at it as a bad thing. I don't have to feel like I'm so stuck here, or this is, so miserable, because if I think those ways and I doubt these things, that's all I'm going to see. Is the manifestation of those bad feelings, is the manifestation of loneliness, the manifestation of lack and fear and doubt and sometimes people bring it on in you, but most of the time it's us bringing it on in ourselves, because we are the only one that can control how we respond to the things around us. And I'm seeing addiction here, and this again is another synchronicity for me, because recently someone reached out to me and they wanted me to do a video about addiction and starseeds and like spiritually awoken people, because I know a lot of them have gone through addictions, and then like later in life when they're awake and all of that, and like they go somewhere, they want to have a drink, but then they feel guilty about the drink. Am I lowering my vibration with the drink? Am I gonna be like susceptible to the demons and the boobity-boobs, and am I a bad person? And it's like, no dude, have a motherfucking drink. Just don't be like crazy, don't go over the top. Don't drink to your own demise, just like anything. But I feel like, again, with starseeds, like, you may be apt or prone to addictions because you want to escape how sensitive you are here. You feel things deeper than others. You recognize more than others. You're in high alert. Usually you have like a hyper awareness, and your multidimensional awareness. You're tuned in to everything and everyone around you. So yes, you would probably want to have some of these things, that like alcohol or weed or just something, to like take off some of that. As long as you don't let that become your lifestyle, you'll be okay. And this is functioning addict, caretaker, enabler, and rock bottom. Some of you may have already done these things and hit your rock bottom. You could have enabled another person that was an addict, and that brought you to your rock bottom. Or you could have been a caretaker. Like in my case, I was a caretaker for my mom, who was definitely an addict, and that, brought me to my rock bottom at different times. And then I became a functioning addict. When I was younger, I was like, nobody ever knew that I was even like, they didn't know, because I always showed up and did exactly what I needed to do, regardless of what I was actually doing to myself. But again, always led to the rock bottom. So again, pre-earth, life lesson, self-love. You could have died in your old. Look at this, it's the same thing. Stars for the location, psychic wounding. So that one and this one are the same. Yeah, so these two have the same things, but they're different on this side. So the achiever, the accomplishment, all of that stuff with addiction, I feel like a lot of people also, you may become addicted to achievement. You may become addicted to learning. You may get rid of your functioning addiction to alcohol or drugs or whatever, and then be like, oh, let me be an addicted person to my twin flame. Let me be an addicted person to my job, my career. Let me be just anything you do, you might go a little too hard. Okay, so you might want to be like, you know what? I gotta let myself back up a little bit so that I don't hit those rock bottoms. I need to go slow. I need to love myself. I need to pace myself, and remember who I am, and heal the psychic wounding and all of that stuff that's been going on since before I even came here. Okay, And then with the social thing, discrimination is here. It says limitations or disease, sexual, religious discrimination. So you could be somebody that like identifies as being like bisexual or gay. Your religion, obviously, if you're a starseed and you're like well aware of that, people probably are like, what the hell is wrong with this person? But it's like, whatever. And limitations or disease, you could have felt discriminated upon, even just by yourself. Like if people don't know what your disease is, like you can discriminate yourself and just assume things or feel things that other people aren't even thinking about you, but you might think about yourself, because everybody is living from their own center, you know, like they're their own main character of their movie. And they just assume the roles of others a lot of times of what they're thinking and feeling, especially if you're very in tune and intuitive. But like we're not always 100% correct, especially when we've already been conditioned in feeling this way. Maybe we grew up with a mother that didn't make us feel accepted. So when we meet other people in the world, we could automatically assume that these people are going to be the same way, and they may not be. There's an example that's coming up. Like the other day, we had a huge storm here. Trees fell down. Our driveway was like at the end of like where the driveway is. There was stuff blocking. It wasn't like blocking fully, but it definitely was not like a clear open way. Like I had to go around stuff. And then the other day, my dad's like, the trash can is gone. It's just gone. And I'm like, well, maybe it blew away. It was really windy. And he's like, oh my God, I don't know. And then I went down to the mailbox and there's the trash at the end of the driveway. And I was like, the guy must have brought it down there. And he was like, why would he do that? He must have been fucking with me. Like he was so upset thinking that this guy was doing it to be a jerk because the guy doesn't want to drive up there. But my dad pays extra every week or month for the guys to drive up here. It's like $10 extra for them to drive up our driveway. And the guy, originally my dad's like thinking that it was like, oh, you're just, you know, trying to fuck with me because you don't want to drive up here. But that's not what it was when he realized that, no, there's a tree down. He couldn't. So he walked his ass up here, brought it down there, dumped it out, and then left it there for us. So, but you know, you see what I mean? Like, and he knew once he had taken that time to like assess everything, he's like, yeah, this definitely wasn't like a personal attack. But that initial personal attack feeling comes from a lifetime of having that. It comes from like growing up in that type of circumstance, or even just by doing it to yourself. Okay. So I feel like we don't want to be addicted to that. We want to be very clear within ourselves that like when we fully accept ourselves and we don't expect ourselves to be a victim, or we don't expect ourselves to be like fighting with everybody, it's going to be a lot more peaceful and easier. Okay. So the rise of civilization is under here with dreamer, planner, organizer, developer. Plan your rise at this time, you know, plan your rise, plan, organize, dream it into being, but get rid of the old stories and the old, oh no's. Okay. And then here is rural living, woodsman, hunter, peasant, farmer. So you may have a past life in this energy as well, you know. And again, these are past life energies. So you've probably, if you had it in a past life, it's going to be in this life. You know, you may have been discriminated against. You may have been somebody that had to work really hard for what you had. So in this life, that can manifest as like believing that you can't just, it doesn't just come easily, that you have to bust your butt, or that, you know, whatever you've already seen in another time or even in an earlier time, sometimes we believe that that's the only way it's going to be, or that's the only way it can be done because that's the way we've already done it. But we also want to look at the like thing and like take in all of this stuff and be that intellectual about it and be like, okay, like let's look at what other people have done and let's look and see if maybe possibly we can collaborate here and transform, you know, the way that we are or the way that we're showing up. You know, like, are we blocking ourselves from our blessings by expecting these things? Are we allowing these karmic inheritances to slow us down? So we need to become the magician and transmute it. You know, go within, spend some time in the hermit mode. Don't come from that projection place of everybody's against me, everybody's messing with me, or everybody hates me, or I'm just like, you know, I'm just doomed to work forever and never get anywhere. Spend some time contemplating and transmuting those things. So like, if you think someone's being like, boop, 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 talking shit about you, be like, thank you. and feed yourself with that. Let it fuel your life. If you think that you've put all this hard work in, take that energy, be like, look at all the hard work I've done. I deserve good things. It's not like, we don't have to look at it as, oh, I've had to always work so hard to get anything. Well, no, I've already worked all so hard, so now it should just come easily. Shift your mindset, your beliefs in a way that they make sense for you to remove your obstacles. And here we have loss of a loved one. So some of you may have, mother wounds by the loss of your mother. You could have had things lost within the galactic war, okay? Or another war, another life. You could have lost your mother in a war. You could have been, a mother that lost your child. You could be a sibling. You could be anybody. But there's abandonment here, death, and unexplained disappearance. So again, you could have been ghosted, right? If somebody ghosted you in another life, they may show up and do that shit again, okay? If somebody passed away in another life or abandoned you in another life or went off to war in another life, they may show up in this life and do it in different ways. They may have left on a ship and never came back, or your mother could have been left in the past, right? This guy just took off on a ship and you never met your dad, so you were abandoned. However it resonates for you, I do recommend doing a past life meditation and trying to tap into those versions of yourself. I'm going to do another past life meditation for beginners. It's on my list of things to record. I'll probably post it on the Divine Essentials channel, but I know there's ones out there. So you can listen to a guided meditation and figure out where are my abandonment wounds from? Where is all of this stuff that I'm holding on to, or what am I even holding on to? Take the time to explore yourself as that hermit and then become the magician and transmute it. Work together with the intellectual information that you're learning about who you are now, who you are becoming, and who you've already been. Okay? And then we have this, which is interesting because over here we had celebrity and awesome sauce. And look at this, it's alchemist, magic, sorcerer, sorceress, illusionist, Wiccan. So you are the alchemist. You've had love affairs, mystical faith. You've been a grandparent. You were in the Crusades or the Inquisition, which makes sense with that discrimination. You could have died of hypothermia, so you could hate being cold, or you could be afraid of being left out in the cold, or you could even just get ghosted and feel cold as a result of the things that have happened. You had a loss of status or reputation. This is crazy because look, this is the one here, performer, musician, dancer, actor, entertainer. And over here, the star, you were, where the hell was it? Where was the job? There was a job that was celebrity, okay? So you could have been a celebrity of some sort in another life and lost that stuff, okay? Something happened, didn't work out so well. You could have been in India, trauma, witness, or bystander. So you witness or were a bystander to trauma. You had a secret faith, LGBT love. You were a father at one point, late Middle Ages. The lesson was peace. So yeah, okay. Now just take what resonates, leave the rest. But again, these things are coming through and confirming. I definitely feel like many of you have been entertainers. You have been sorcerers and sorceress. You have been the magician. You have been the alchemist. And you may even have used that to entertain other people. Performed in some way. When you think of a shaman, shamans perform like a ritual in front of people. And that adds into the belief of the people that are there that something's happening. And that's all we really need to do is get people to believe. Even ourselves. It's like when we do a ritual, we light a candle, when we write a list, when we're doing these things, we're doing them to create something, to create magic. And we got to believe in it for it to manifest. So we put on more emphasis into it, when we put on the lights and we put on the energy and we put on the show, it is more powerful for people. It makes it easier for them to believe. It's entertaining to them. It's fun for them. They would like to do it, okay? So I feel like some of you could have been, at the top. And then somewhere along the way, you may have fell to the bottom. You could have also had some group living. This says monastery, tribe, commune, or cult. So whichever one resonates, no judgment here. But I feel like you could have even been in all of those situations. You could have been a guru. Look at guru or idol. Again, I feel like some of you could have been famous in ways that you aren't necessarily, like when we think of famous nowadays, a lot of people think of like Miley Cyrus or whatever, like singers and rock stars, but there's people in the world that are very famous for other reasons, and I feel like some of you were that. You were the guru, you were the cult leader, you were the one that was doing some crazy stuff, okay? You could have had mental illness, you could have had a Gnostic or dualistic faith, and your love was separated by distance, okay? So again, we see this separation playing out in all of these energies. And the lesson was forgiveness, and you may have had, taken your own life in that life. We also have Southern Europe coming through, early Middle Ages. So, see, take what resonates, but definitely I know a lot of people, like this could even be Atlantis, living in that like type of community where everybody was trading and bartering and all of that. Now look at this. We had astral experiences, out-of-body experience, near-death experience, between lives, post-life review. I feel like some of you have almost passed in this life, and some of you have taken your lives in other lives, and some of you have maybe even attempted to do it in this life, or you've had near-death experiences. You've been in the astral planes. You could have done some astral projection, but basically there's this time frame that you have connected with, or this energy, this space that you have connected with, or are connecting with, or going to connect with, that has helped you to like inform yourself about yourself. Okay, you could have drowned in another life. You could have overcome loss in that life. You're an adult female, Neolithic revolution for the time frame, non-possessive love, magic-based faith. There was some sort of disaster or trauma in North America that led to drowning. So that could have been Atlantis, man. And after Atlantis, you were in this like post-life review. And then I feel like many of you reincarnated after that, okay? You came into the mothership, basically, to get yourself, your affairs together, and then come back down into this life to work on the karma and things that were manifested about from the other lives. You are artists, you're hobbyists, collectors, professional models, okay? Again, this could have been what made you famous. You could have been a singer, you could have been whatever it is, a hobby that just took off, a modeling thing, professionalism, owning, like how Donald Trump became famous just for like his money, and look, like there's a lot of people like that. They just become famous because they collected a lot of money, or they did something that a lot of people saw, so a lot of people hear about it. However, I do feel like things have been put on hold for you, and it's for you to change your perspective. It's for you to shift out of this I don't have, I've lost, I'm never gonna, into I am growing, I am evolving, I'm planting the seeds of potential that I want to see manifested into my life. And so that's going to help you go from being stuck and alone to in the right partnership with yourself and others. It's going to help you overcome all these karmic things and reawaken that lost wisdom, to remove these obstacles, to heal yourself and others, and to fight in a way that brings peace, because you are here for this. This is what you came for. You are the healers. Look at that! Look at that! Look, I picked this deck up and it was Starseed. Awakening and shifting the collective consciousness, Star Child. This is who you are, guys. You are Starseeds. You are Star Keepers. That's what you're here for. What is the chances of that being the card, okay? Many of you are the Divine Feminine. You are honoring the ways of the Sacred Feminine through cycles of rebirth. You were just reborn to do what was right. And the Akashic Records has information within it that you can access and assist others to access that ancient wisdom. So keep doing your intellectual deep work, keep doing your inner transformation, transmutation, find the right people to work with, let go of the things that are keeping you from breathing or being the best versions of yourself, okay? And remember that you have all this ancient wisdom, and marriage is here too. So stand in your power alone right now, and that's going to help to heal any karmic things that have been blocking you from finding your true love, okay? So hopefully that made sense for you guys. Hopefully this will support you. Oh, look at that. Egypt is there. Egypt, again, we already had ancient Egypt over here. Many of you were here for Egypt, and I saw Atlantis right there, okay? Ancient Egypt, Atlantis connections, orphaned at that time. that carried into this life, and it's been hard for you to trust and have faith, but it's okay. Look, you were a baby, you probably felt that way, even with, like, maybe if you were born into this life with your mother, she may have made you felt abandoned in some way just because of the karmic loops that started long ago when you were a dancer or a singer or whatever, or in the times of Atlantis, and you've been harboring anger that needs to be let go of, and wounds that have manifested from these old times. Get into your ship, the mothership, so you can take over and take off into a new way, take new vows, clear out the old vows that have been blocking you from your beautiful blessings. And yeah, hopefully that will help you. In Monet, namaste.